Welcome back. You guys are bouncing all over the place. Started off here with me. Let you guys go to join Charles. Now we're back, right? Trade empowered. Greystone's gonna have to do like 4 just to round out the rest of the afternoon. But we're back for another one. Let's get this thing started. I want to do a quick. I've been doing these not daily, but every once in a while, these trading blogs because you guys have basically said that you don't like reading. You're too lazy to read. You'd rather have someone talk to you. And you like the visual effect. So it's pretty cool. And it kind of it actually covers a topic we were talking about today in the live room. In the live room, we had a conversation on journaling. For you guys that follow me on Twitter or Facebook, I shared, this is awesome, by the way. Look at that. Hold on real quick. Entire Twitter feed is blowing up with retweets from you guys. This is amazing. Look at that. Retweets of mine, retweets of Charles. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's awesome. But I shared an article today about I forgot what it's called, but something about building your own trading journal using Excel spreadsheets and whatnot like that. And we had a good conversation in our live room about the importance of journaling. Now, obviously we're live here on Periscope, so I can't show it to you, but what I'm going to do is when I upload this video to YouTube, my YouTube page, not the Trade Empowered YouTube page, but when I upload this video to YouTube, I'm going to actually edit that conversation from our live room this morning and include it in there so you guys can see. But on the topic of journaling, I guess what I wanted to cover today was just talk about how you got to understand that when you're trading, you are your own business. You are your boss, and it means that you have to hold yourself accountable. I put a poll out yesterday. Last week was an interesting week with the pound crash, and I put a poll out. I said, after last week's pound crash, what is your mindset going into this week? Are you scared? Do you want revenge? Are you going to trade your plan? Are you staying out for now? Now, the majority of traders that answered said 70% said I'm going to trade my plan. 24% said I'm staying out for now. And you would have many traders that would look at that and say, oh, you can't stay out. You got to be in. You can't be scared. Trade your plan, all the stuff like that. But realistically, what we want to do before each and every trading day is we want to put ourselves through a self-evaluation, right? We want to evaluate ourselves and make sure that we are mentally in the right place to be trading. Because again, if you're someone that has been, maybe you got slipped 1,000 pips by that move and you want revenge, you're feeling bad, the best thing may be to stay away from the markets. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're likely to make even more mistakes and dig yourself deeper and deeper into the hole. And the hard part about trading is, again, we have to evaluate ourselves. We have to learn to be honest with ourselves. We're not on a trading floor where, our prop firm has a psychiatrist hired and we have mandatory meetings each month. That's something that really happens, by the way, guys. They have someone that they force you to talk to just to make sure you're mentally there. Because if you're trading a large capital with someone else's money, you better be in tip-top condition or tip-top shape each and every day. We had a few traders that have graduated from the 12-week transformation course that went on to work for prop firms and hedge funds, and that's the first thing they said. They said, Akil, they make me sit down and talk with this person once a month. They said, but it keeps me sane. But unfortunately, if you're a retail trader, you have to do that for yourself. One of the best ways you can do that is by keeping that trading journal. And in that trading journal, you're just not reflecting on the technicals. I mean, you're just not looking at the trading opportunities for the day. You're just not reviewing the tape like, Peyton Manning or Tom Brady in the film room, looking at what happened, were your trades good, were there missed opportunities, how could you have gotten into those missed opportunities. But one thing that we need to keep note on is how we're feeling up here. Mentally, how are we doing psychologically? Are we in the right mindset? Are we in a drawdown and we're depressed, we're down? Are we in a winning streak and we're too overconfident? It's important that we be honest with ourselves. And I know for me personally, I like using that, it takes me maybe like 20 minutes. I like using that 10, 20 minutes just to kind of reset. I tell myself, Akil, after my trading day is over, after I review and do my journaling, the day is over. Whatever happened yesterday is done with. Time to refocus and focus 100% on the next day, kind of having that short memory. Now, That may not work for everyone, but that works for me. So kind of me using a trading journal is more like an ending process. It closes the chapter, closes the page on one chapter, and then tomorrow I'm able to open up the page on a new chapter. And it really gives me that comfort and in knowing that each day is a new battle. So it's very important that we do that journal, because you never want to be trading when you're not mentally fit to trade. And as you'll see in the video I'm going to share with you on the YouTube version of this, it's also important if you want to develop and continue to hone your trading strategy. So that's it for today, guys. I know you've been with us for a while just watching Charles. He did a little promo for his live event coming up next Tuesday. Make sure you're signed up for that. Make sure you're following us all on Twitter. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube page. We're putting out trading videos left and right, so make sure you check them. I probably won't have this posted until later today, the real version, the one with the live room footage in there, till later today, maybe tomorrow. But just check out the YouTube pages and you can check it out. What do you feel is stopping you from being consistent with it? This is probably more of a Q&A type session, but let's dig into that. What do you think is just laziness? And I don't mean laziness in a negative way, but it's just something that you're like, do it tomorrow, where it's not really important. Laziness, you would say? Procrastination, I'll do it later, and then later never comes, later comes into tomorrow. It just happens, maybe laziness, procrastination. Anybody else? I mean, it's a very good subject. This is part of the live room. Yes, we come in here to trade, but my main goal, and Jason Grayson has the same goal, our main goal is to help you become a better trader, right? That is our number one goal, to help you become a better trader. And sometimes that means putting actual trading opportunities to the side and talking about this stuff. So I'll give you guys a secret. Most traders fail at trading not because they can't read a price chart, or not because they don't have a good strategy or system. It's because of the 6 inches between your ears, right? 6 inches. 6 inches will keep you from success. I feel like it may not be needed, or it's not that beneficial, right? So that's a good subject, right? It's not important. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Just have a habit of not doing it. Pen and paper is so tedious. So a lot of the answers we're getting here, Greystone, is it seems like it's laziness. It's not a number one priority. It's not that important, right? And one of the most important things, I wrote an article for FX Trader magazine about this earlier in the year. One of the most important things that we need to do as traders is put ourselves in a ritual, right? Do you guys know what a ritual is? Yeah, we need to put ourselves in a ritual where essentially we force ourselves into a routine, right? No matter whether we like it or we don't like it, we force ourselves into a routine. Now, it's a little bit difficult in trading because, right, the whole point of trading is what? Freedom of time. That's what we always preach. We trade because it gives us freedom of time. It gives us a chance to play with our kids. It gives us a chance to go date our wives. It gives us a chance to do whatever we want, pick up any hobbies. However, some people take that freedom of time and that becomes the most important thing. So trading takes the back seat and they're like, markets are 24 hours. I can trade when I want. And that's not true, because we do have to treat it like a business. So you have to put yourself in a ritual where you get it done. It's kind of like back in your school days where you come home and you know that your parents you got to do homework before you eat dinner, right? So the first thing you got to do homework before you can go out and play outside, right? That was my thing. I would get home from school 3 o'clock. I'd be like, hey, Mom, can I go play with Dan? Did you do your homework? No, I'll do it later. You do it now, and then you can go outside and play, right? Trading's the same thing. We got to force ourselves into that habit, and whether it be simply waking up, whether it be checking the news events, whether it be doing top-down analysis or doing pre-market analysis, whether it be doing post-market analysis, we have to force ourselves to do that until it becomes a habit, right? We have to force ourselves to do it until it becomes a habit. I wish there was an easy way to trick you into doing it, but at the end of the day, you just have to do it. Right? It's kind of like trading psychology. Well, Akil, how do I work on my trading psychology? You just do it. You tell yourself you're going to do it, and then you follow through. But it's very, very important, guys. I think Gabrielle wrote this in earlier. If you're not tracking your progress, and that goes for anything from statistics to feelings, how do you know if you're doing good or bad? How do you know how to get better? How do you know how to make changes? Seriously, how? In most jobs, you have a boss, right? If you're messing up, your boss is going to come tap you on the shoulder. Hey, Sarah, let's talk about last week's numbers. Oh, man, Mr. Smith, I'm sorry. And, he gives you a little kick in the rear, and then you get fired up and you get better. Trading, guess what happens? Ain't nobody tapping you on the shoulder. You just go broke. Only thing tapping you on the shoulder is your broker. They say that little thing pops up on your screen. Margin call. What? Huh? Margin call? Hold up. What's let me google.com margin call. No, not the film. Margin call is a broker's demand on an investor using margin to deposit additional money or securities so that the margin account can be brought up to the minimum. How come all my where did my trades go? Oh. And then insert boop, boop, son of a boop, throwing computers and kicking cats, all that stuff. That's when you know you're doing wrong. By then it's too late. By then it's too late. So you got to force yourself into that habit. I do it every day. I write it in every day. Here's how I tricked myself. Because I didn't like to do it, but I started a blog when I first got started. This was before Trade Empowered. This is actually what got me, what got Trade Empowered interested in me. This is where I started my education. It was very hard for me to write a journal each and every day. So the way I tricked myself is I started a motivational blog, a motivational website. It was called, what was it called? It had a few names. I think it was called Good Vibes or I Am Business. I had a few of them, but I started telling myself, hey, for this motivational website, I'm going to start entering a blog post every day. And my blog post was actually my trading journal, meaning not just the statistics part of it, but like the feelings and stuff as well. So each day I'd write it in, hey, today was an okay day of trading. I entered a good trade on the euro dollar. However, as soon as it got halfway to targets, I got really emotional and I exited right away. I knew I shouldn't have been doing that, but I did it anyway. And then later on I checked and the market went up 100 pips and I left it all on the table. If I just would have taken that trade, it would have made up for the losses that I took earlier in the week. Short little blog post like that. And that's, for me, that was a trading journal. And I tricked myself into doing it by just saying, hey, it's not a journal, it's a blog post that I'm sharing with the world. But it got me into that habit of doing so. So whatever it takes to get you into that habit, find a way to do it. But it's very important because how else are you going to know that you're messing up? How else are you going to know? No one's going to tell you. Let me just read. I'm missing some of these questions real quick. Guilty. I have several trade logging processes. I've realized it helps if you can be consistent and know what you're looking for and take note of it. Yeah, it doesn't take too long. You don't have to be very detailed. Someone like, I know I've seen Kenny's before. I'm not sure if I can bring up a Kenny Pate picture. Kenny does a very detailed version. You don't have to be that detailed. Kenny likes to mark up his charts. I think Gabrielle does the same. Let me see if I can find it. What's your name, Kenny? SP, S-Pate, something like that. Of course you can't find any. There we go. See if I can find something by Kenny. You don't have to be super detailed, right? You don't have to be super detailed. It can be written, but you can be as detailed as this. Where I know Kenny takes a chart and he literally writes notes on it, right? He goes through his trade. This is why I took it. This is why I didn't take it. This is my risk reward. Notes, strong buyer, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. You don't have to. There's different ways. But yeah, you need to get in the habit of doing it. If you don't keep track and all you see at the end of the year is minus dollar amount and you wonder, why am I doing that? Yeah, you don't know how to fix it. I thought that I was much more organized than I now realize I am. Trading has showed me that about myself. I'm determined to fix it. I was the same way, Chad. I learned so much about myself through trading. Trading has made me a much more organized and disciplined person in life. Yeah, it's a growth process. And end of your trading day is fine. Yeah. How do you journal now? I do it the same way. Now I don't have an active blog, just because I'm too lazy to post it. Well, you guys stopped reading it. That's why I didn't have an active blog. But I do the same thing. I write some notes down. I review the trades I took. I review situations of trades that maybe I thought, or predictions that I made that weren't actually trades that I can take. So I go through and say, man, I looked at this on Euro Yen 5 minute this morning. I knew it was going to go long. I didn't know, but I predicted it was going to go long, but didn't have an entry reason. I'll take notes and take a picture of it. Excuse me. And then eventually maybe it's something that I can add to my plan. But you simply review your trading day. Think of it like film study. If you guys ever played sports, review the film. Review the film.